Welcome back to Keeping Up with the Anambra Politicians. Funny as it may sound, there's a lot of drama going on in Anambra back to back. If you've been keeping up with us, there's been a lot of story coming from Anambra from one political drama to another. And we have another one today, moving to jollof rice, going almost feeding a nation. No, not a nation, but then you get the gist, there's a lot. We'll dive into the ingredients of that story later. And we also have a lot of gist on Canada. Well, just stay with us to the end of the morning break. I am Abbas Muhammad.
And I'm Barry to the world.
And I'm Mohammed without the glasses.
You are welcome to the morning break. Our first story is DSS beats up a commissioner in Anambra State. Over the weekend, we got a very hot scenario in Anambra whereby a footage titled "No Lawlessness in Anambra State" was posted by Sunday Uche Ekwunife, Special Advisor on General Duty to the Director General and CEO of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. The video surfaced online showing officers of the Department of State Services assaulting and manhandling Honorable Patrick Agamba. Hopefully I got that name correctly. The Commissioner for Youth Development in Anambra State. This is really, really sad, seeing the DSS, the highest state of security, state security services, DSS, Department of State Security Services, who are supposed to be our, secret service. They are supposed to, keep the country in a very safe light, protect the image of the country in and out, performing very secretive actions, treated or captured on camera, behaving like, bodyguards, because, it's only celebrity bodyguards that act in this way. You get the gist, because you're supposed to see a bodyguard, if it's a celebrity having a bodyguard, you have a fan rushing to the celebrity, the bodyguards, push the person away. And these are the kind of activities you find in private bodyguards. But then seeing the Department of State Security Service stooping low to this level of harassing a honorable, for that matter, what action might have triggered this to push the DSS to capture or harass a whole honorable in this manner? What do you think about this story?
And well, the honorable in this context was blocking what do you call it? The path to the hospital. He blocked it and said, "You guys can't enter," and everything. And before you know it, things got escalated, and he got physical with the honorable. And I'm like, why should the DSS come and park and block the gate of the hospital? Couldn't there be emergency, meetings and everything? And then on the part of the honorable, it was not his right to serve. I mean, it was the Minister of Health or anything that was there, and you understand that, okay, he was playing a role. He's the of youth, Commissioner for Youth. I know he was Commissioner for Health, to understand, but he's Commissioner for Youth and Development. I really do not understand his role in that, but I could understand the stance in which they were like, the DSS, please bring your private bodyguard and everything, but DSS, that's another, with their guns and everything, into a hospital environment. I don't think it's safe, really. It's safe for them to be doing that, and I really do not know why the police force has been bastardized to that point, for them to be serving the role of private bodyguards to citizens. I really do not understand that. We've been talking about it, about excess security detail for public office holders, and then who are now the people left to safeguard the people of the state, if all of them are gathering to support or to protect the security. In the first place, if the state was as safe as it ought to, you wouldn't need so much security details. So it's even a slap on them, because are they doing the job? Is the country safe enough for them to move around without so much security detail? And the answer is no. But let's see how it goes.
Well, Kebi, Mo, what do you think? The state of Anambra, not even the nation, and let's just leave it, because the drama now is in Anambra. The state of Anambra has a lot of other issues they could have handled, they could have been focusing on, especially for the DSS, gathering intel. We're having an issue, last week we have the issue of the NSCDC officials being killed, the Chinese national being kidnapped and all. the DSS have still not uncovered this whole story. They have still not solved this story, and then we're having them performing the roles of, like I mentioned, it's looking like private bodyguards. Because yeah, we have the issue of the commissioner blocking the path. They were trying to have access to the hospital, but who were they trying to have that access to? Do you think the actions of the DSS are justified in manhandling a commissioner? And what do you think about the commissioner blocking the road in the first place?
No, firstly, I really want to ask what is going on. Yeah, what is really going on? Because Anambra, that we've seen, it has a history of DSS and public officials. Because I think it was in 2023 we saw their issue between DSS and an INEC staff. So it's like a pattern that has been playing in that town, which is basically not acceptable. And for us to move forward, we have to ask, what is the duty of the DSS? I think the DSS is a security body. It's a department, it's a security body that's there to guard public officials. Then why are DSS attached to a candidate? Where we know we don't even see DSS attached to, I think it's mostly people on primary assignments by the president that because you barely see them, you majorly see them with ministers, governors. So what is the correlation between the DSS and a candidate? And maybe the minister was wrong. I said the commissioner was wrong for blocking the person. Probably he feels like the candidate is going there to snap pictures, to use it as a political campaign tool, since Anambra election is coming very soon. So the minister was trying to, the commissioner was probably trying to play governor's boy, to show the governor, yes, he's working for him. He does not want anybody to unseat him, any party to unseat him. But I think that was the duty of road safety or police. The commissioner blocks the police, then that's the duty of police. That's a government official. That's a state government official. For the DSS to raise their hand. We've seen this kind of patterns in Anambra. It was in the same Anambra vigilante were beating an NYC copper a few weeks ago.
True.
So is this a trend in Anambra? This you see, the Anambra is a place that have been suffering with unknown government issues. Is it that there are no issues for if the DSS want to work, then these are issues. These are the issues that they should be facing.
I mean, they're an intelligence agency, they're not private bodyguards.
We're having these unknown government issues, mostly in the east, Anambra to be precise. So is this that they don't have work or they don't know what to do, that they are coming? If they are looking for, this is what to do. You are an information body, you are a security body, so you should, you know what to do, but not that you come. I think it's unacceptable for the DSS, and they should look into it. So we've seen it in 2023 where DSS had a clash with INEC staff. So I don't think we want to see more of this. The government should look into this. If it's for them to be withdrawn from states and it should just be a federal security body, fine. That's where we have civil defense, we have police. They should be attached to these people.
Sure.
But not to the Department of State Security.
True. You know, the Department of State Security Service are supposed to move discreetly, if I'm not wrong.
And recently they were busy interacting with Shower. We saw it recently on Twitter, and you saw them taking the role of what they call it, spokesperson or lawyers for the president. So, if basically the president wants to file a lawsuit against Shower, he's up to do that.
He knows how to do.
He knows how to do that. And this is like the DSS do not know their job description. It's like we need to read it back out.
Trying to become personal bodyguards. Well, we hope that is not the case. We hope that is not the case. I hope they focus more on other pressing issues we have, not just in Anambra State, but nationwide. Let them not spoil the name of the DSS, because already we have a very controversial thinking of the police already, you know, because they have to reinstate that the police is your friend, the police is your friend. But many Nigerians do not believe that the police is actually their friend, with so many things that we see on social media and interactions. We should not get to that level where our Department of State Security Services are called or categorized under that same level. Hopefully not. And moving on to further drama, still in Anambra State. Well, like I said, at this point, it's becoming keeping up with the Anambra politicians, because one political drama to another. Apparently, Anambra's first lady is having a dirty fight with Senator Ekwunife, whereby Senator Ekwunife accused the Anambra First Lady of being unfaithful in her marriage, accusing her of several things, saying she is unfaithful, saying her children are not all by the governor. And it makes you wonder, what are there no problems in Anambra State? We just mentioned several of them. I mentioned some of them. You mentioned some of them, Barry. Mo, you mentioned some of them. And you wonder, what, do they not, are they not aware of these happenings in their state, that they focus on cheap taunts like this dirty talks? But at this point, it's dirty, you know, calling a governor's wife unfaithful, the first lady of your state unfaithful. What is he trying to achieve? What is all with all that political drama?
I mean, this happened not unprovoked. It was actually provoked. This response was basically a boost to the bass. First, the governor of Anambra State issued out a jab on this ex-senator Ekwunife, and then she gave this one as a clapback. He said that her degrees, her GSC, and what they call her certificate looked questionable. And then she said, no, you know what, I'm going to give you another boost since you know how to talk. And everything. And it is wild because they have stooped to, when we say we heard so much that politics is dirty. Now we've seen just how dirty it is. Like if you go low, I go and dig for crude oil and everything, and that's basically what she just did. And it's laughable and everything, it's comic and everything, but it's sad, it's sickening that they have to stoop so low to be airing. And I don't even know whether it's true. People should come out and tell us, is this true? And she says she has facts to back it up. Then this other lady is coming out and said that, you know what, 72 hours I give you to retract this your statement. When she said this, I'm now asking, when your husband issued that jab, did you ask him to retract that statement in 72 hours? Now she's giving you your own boost. Why are you threatening her? And she said she has proof. So everybody should lay out their proof. They should not be talking all this thing. Let us see proof. Let us see receipts.
Ahead of their elections coming November 8th, all this drama, to me, I believe is unnecessary. Rather than presenting manifestos, what can they do for the state? They are going for cheap jabs. And like you mentioned, she was actually reacting to the governor's claims that her PhD certificate and her GCE results were questionable and spurious, making her unqualified for the deputy governorship state. We've seen a lot of drama similar to this. You know, we can take a throwback to when Bianca Ojukwu slapped the incumbent, or it was the living first lady then, because of drama, because of verbal jabs between each other. Like you mentioned, there's always someone going low and there's always someone trying to go lower. There's always once you give out a glass, expect a boost. That is the natural way of things. But again, they should really be focusing on other things. What do you think about this kind of political tantrums ahead of their own state elections?
Like I said earlier, what is really going on? What is really going on? Is there something that's going on in that Anambra that we don't know, that I think we need to know? Because how will you jump from frying pan to fire, from fire to charcoal? What is happening? Everything, if something happens, is Anambra. You want me for we've seen political clashes, but to the extent of discovering crude oil is definitely something that we see once in a while. But I don't think this is a good thing. The election is fast approaching. I think on November 8th. So this all, I think, is just a political, stunts, political issues. But my own on the defense of the Anambra Governor Chief Soludo, I think since they do this, Nigerians say first to do no dey pain, because he threw a jab to her.
It's not the first time he's doing it.
I know I will not like to use the word, but I hear he's a bully. I'll use the word bully. He's a man with a sharp mouth. So I think he met somebody that are on the same level. He said qualifications are questionable. I think if she wanted to get back at him, there are other ways to get back at him directly, but not to go after his whole family like that. Even if it's true, which we hope it's not, but it's not something you should put out. This is an issue that they should do within themselves, not to bring to the general public in a place like Anambra that are already having issues that are unsettled. So I think they need to do better. But somebody have to be the bigger person. But as they are discovering crude oil, they are going down below. this, I hope that we don't see. I hope the next one that is coming, it
It's
will
not
not be
going to go
something that's
lower.
going to put us on national hood. Everybody will be shocked.
Well,
I
we,
think
we, we hope not. Keeping up with the Anambra politicians, we do hope the next drama we're going to see is going to be proper debates on manifestos, presenting proper facts that could push the state of Anambra forward and not backwards, or keeping it in a dramatic position at this point. We do hope we see better. We do hope the governor does better, the deputy governor, his wife, and we should really learn to avoid dragging people's families into personal beefs, because you are claiming someone's wife is unfaithful. You're also claiming the children are not the husbands and whatnot, whatnot. How do you think the children would feel? How do you think their mental state is going to be? How they have friends, they have, it's really.
with
I
the
mean,
kind
but
of
there's this saying that says if people who live in glass houses do
Should
not
not
trust
trust
sons.
but
True.
even though, with the type of people we have in this country, that they use everything for a joke. So you see, I think if it's true, it's going to be something that's going to haunt them for the rest of their lives.
Truly, truly. We hope to see better from Anambra. Moving on, we are taking a direct first-class flight to Canada.
Please,
Canada.
I need
Canada.
a seat. I need a seat
Cana-
on that plane.
Canada. Making reference to Magneto's popular song, Canada is Nigeria's number one target, in their first Japa tickets that they put, once they pay for that flight ticket money, is to Canada. Well, unfortunately, Canada rejects 1,596 Nigerian asylum applications. Yes, 1,596. And you wonder how many of these applicants were there before these were rejected, and what are Nigerians actually seeking asylum from their country to Canada for. Going deeper into the story, Canada has denied 1,596 asylum claims filed by Nigerians so far in 2025. Sunday Punch reports that the figures updated to August 21 indicate that Nigerian nationals filed 3,548 claims so far this year, of which 2,292 were accepted. That's actually a huge number out of the whole total, seeking asylum in Canada and being granted asylum.
That's about 65%.
Exactly. It's a huge leap. And some of these asylum seekers are claiming, or not, I wouldn't say claim, because it's our reality. They're saying they are escaping violence from Boko Haram, combined with economic instability, fueled the departures of these Nigerians to seek asylum in Canada. But in a larger sense, Canada actually offers this asylum to citizens or migrants from one country to another when they are facing terrorist unrest in their countries, when they are facing threat to life, their own personal lives. We have journalists whose lives have been threatened in certain countries and they have to seek asylum in other countries. Canada grants citizenship or asylum to these people. They also broaden the spectrum to even people who have been faced with sexual assault. Canada opens its arms and say, okay, come, we would accept you. But at the same time, they still have to they have to tighten the reins on some of these applicants, because not everyone is actually is worthy of this asylum. But what do you think about the whole?
I think it's sad that a lot of applicants are seeking asylum. Basically, they are traveling on the means of asylum, and it speaks so much on the security state of Nigeria. Speaks so much that because we talk about 65%, we are talking about 2,292 people. They screened to 2,292 people and deemed them worthy of asylum and granted them visa based on asylum. It should speak about the state of security in this nation.
True,
It is degrading. It is getting worse and worse. So much people, and we're talking about brain drain. People are seeking any means to Japan and leave this country because of the state of our security as a nation. We're talking about and then still talking about that, you talked about 1,500 plus, being denied and everything. We know the Japa syndrome. When there is a means for, there are actually people who are seeking asylum.
Honest.
There are certain people who are using
Taking
that as a
advantage.
means to get out of this country. And then you wonder that aren't there other means? Aren't there other means towards getting your visa? Like, do you understand? There's the education route. There are other means. Why asylum? Really? Why asylum? Is it the benefits that they get from, asylum and everything? But I don't know, Sha. But if Nigerians are running away, that means there's something inherently wrong. That means there's something Nigerian government are doing wrong.
You know, giving a flashback to that, we remember the court in Canada said that the APC party, political party, and the PDP political party, they termed them as terrorist organizations, where there was an outcry saying, why would a court in Canada make these judgments? Why would they speak this about? Because APC is the ruling party presently. So are they trying to say that our ruling party is a terrorist organization? That means we're being ruled by terrorists. There was a lot of foul cry saying, why would Canada do this and that? But then when you look at situations like this where Canada actually offers asylum to these people, it means they strongly believe this. It means there are facts backing it, because you don't just go to a country seeking asylum. You present evidence that this is what I'm going through and this is why I'm seeking asylum in your country. Going by United Nations standards, there are certain stipulations that you have to state before you can be granted asylum. And Canada does this, and even more. They even go as far as accepting HIV AIDS patients that are probably being stigmatized in their country and let them into their own country. So Canada is actually doing a lot for the country. Just like Magneto said in the song, so many things that Canada does, opening opportunities, a lot of things that Canada does that probably people don't see in their country or in their continent in general. So kudos to it. It has gotten to that point whereby artists are even making mention of that particular point. But more, let me ask you, what do you think in comparison to what the Canadian court said about APC, PDP being a terrorist organization, and then granting asylum to this many number of Nigerians?
I think just like you said, the Canadian government have strongly supported their claims. Because when I say, just an example, when I say they are not treating you right at home, and the person that you stay with claims is treating you right, when you come, I won't deny. As the moment I open my doors for you, that means I've accepted the claims that I made. So I think it's very sad, because just like what Barry said, you cannot see somebody leaving his home running away for no reason. There must be a reason. And in any lie, there's an element of truth.
True.
Definitely, these people that are claiming they are seeking asylum, some you see in
Some
our
are
people,
true, yes.
somebody from the Binuwari area of Kaduna State, if he says he's seeking asylum, I will not deny it. Somebody in some certain areas in Katsina, Niger, Zamfara, all of them,
Borno.
because we've seen the kind of situation they are in. But for some people to take advantage, that's typical Nigerians. They cannot see opportunity and leave. Some people are taking advantage of this. And these claims the PDP and APC government are terrorist organization by the Canadian government. So, I
mean,
think
if
they have their
Nigeria
reasons.
is
They have their reasons. I would not like to label them as that, but they are
portraying Nigeria
thank
in
you.
a bad
They are showing the blueprint of that, because we've seen where journalists are being arrested for coming out to say the truth. We've seen where a child is shot. All these are terrorist acts. All these are blueprints of a terrorist attack. So just killing a child in cold blood. Then when a journalist speaks, you're arresting. All these are terrorist moves. So maybe they have their reasons. There are certain things that points to that direction.
Well, amid the whole Japa syndrome, we appreciate Canada for doing the best they can, and we really do hope that this is going to be a wake-up call for politicians to do better in the country. We should fix our country to avoid having that global image that our people are moving out en masse for several reasons and even seeking asylum in other countries that we could actually probably be doing better than. And then moving on, the FCT minister, Nonye Wike, has been flown out to the United Kingdom for congestive heart failure. There's a lot of back-to-back stories about the minister's health, and every single time there's always a comeback from him disproving everything that the claims that are coming out. We always see we see this severally when it comes to celebrities also, whereby we just see breaking news, so celebrity is dead or this and that. And then the person comes and say, where is all these stories coming from? And this also happens with the minister. And I wonder, why do they not come out to refute these claims instantly until after a certain while? Let's say give it a few days before they come and say, okay, whatever story, because this story is coming from Sarah reporters saying this, and it says sources close. It did not say the sources directly. It says sources close to the minister, said that. And then you wonder, why hasn't anyone come out from the ministry saying, okay, no, the minister is this and that, if it is not true? And if it is true, why is it not being addressed publicly? We can give an example of other countries where when a leader is sick, they announce it to the whole nation. The nation prays, the nation wishes the leader well if the leader is good. Why is it different when it comes to... And Kebi, let's just start with Kebi here. Kebi, why do you think it's different when it comes to Nigeria? They always try to keep it hidden. We've seen it in Buhari's case, we've seen it in Yaradua's case, we've seen it in Tinubu's case also, and then now the FCT minister.
Sorry for my laugh. The reason I laughed is because we all know who Ezenwe Somuke is. He's a person that does not left every stone untouched. If you insult Wike today, be sure by evening you will get a response from Wike. So I'm surprised where they say Wike is sick and Wike have not come to scatter the claims that he's okay. So this definitely have already answered my question. And my own point of my own area of focus where I have a problem with them is, why is it that they must take everybody abroad? We've seen the case of Anambra, the case that the wife of Governor Soludo, where they said, okay, let her take up paternity test
abroad in London.
And they said she wants to go to. Is it that they do not trust our own health sector or what? If the president is sick, you hear the president has gone to France. If a minister is sick, you hear he has gone to UK. Is it that, okay, so they're purposely sabotaging our own healthcare, not and them they're enjoying themselves? What of the common man that cannot afford to go to UK or France for medicals? So I think this is a wake-up call for them. This is unacceptable. All of us should be here. Shall we have a minister of health? That's his duty. All of us should remain here. If you are sick, go to the hospital. We have national hospital. We have general hospitals. But for a person like Isom Wiki, by now, I think these claims it's getting old and we've not had any response from him. If he's sick, I hope God grants him good health. But it's quite surprising. Wiki has not, his band group self have not, I think if he's not available, the band group will be there too.
Well, in addition to the silence, we can also remember that the minister said, when he assumed power, he said he has no reason to leave the country for any medical reasons. He said we have enough resources here in the country. And actually commend him for that statement back then when he said it. He said we have enough resources in the country. He is not going out for any medical checkup or whatever. Whatever we need or whatever he needs health-wise, we have it here in the country. We have the resources. And if it is not yet, then it's a wake-up call for us to fix them. That was what he said. He was emphasizing on the healthcare system here in Nigeria. He was emphasizing that he was not going to leave the country.
Maybe his spirit is outside, but his body might be here. So I don't know, probably.
Well, we do. If it's true, if it is true that we have enough medical resources here that can handle whatever their issues, we hope that is true, and we hope he's getting treatment here. But we also have to consider the details of the story. The story says that he's supposed to get a bypass surgery. And that bypass surgery is supposed to prolong his life. It's supposed to strengthen his heart because it's still heart-related issues. And he does not want that. He's denying doctors. He's denying, because when you are sick, when you go to the hospital, the doctors will give you all options on the table. They don't just give you one and tell you, okay, this is the only option. No. Whatever possibility there is for your treatment, they will give you all. And the one that was going to work better is the bypass heart surgery. But it's going to take him time to recover. It takes time for the surgery to work and everything. Do you think, Barry, now coming to you, do you think part of the reasons why we've not heard the full story from the minister or his people is that he does not want to be away from office for so long and for it to be public knowledge? Because we're having Rivers State governor is going to be coming back into power from his suspension and a lot of political things going on in the country. Do you think he doesn't want to be out of the picture for so long recovering?
I mean,
health is wealth, remember.
Yes. So the surgery involved in the coronary bypass surgery takes about 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months healing and recovery time. So basically, if he undergoes that surgery, in 3 to 6 months, he wouldn't be. It basically means that 3 to 6 months, he wouldn't be active in service, living. Basically, his fears are people taking over his seat and him not being active, because he's an active politician. Him not being active and everything. So my issue is the ability or the mentality of Nigerian politicians. This whole sit tight, my seat, keep my seat in
Entitlement.
place for me. May nobody touch my seat. I stand up
Like
from
a
this seat. May
secondary
nobody sit
school.
down for my seat and everything. It's saddening, and it is not about the nation. You're not thinking the nation. You're not thinking of your health. You're thinking of your seat. This seat will pass. Your life is more important. This seat will come and go. There's something that my mom normally says, that wealth is like, it has wings. It flies away and everything. Whatever it is, the prestige and everything can come to an end in one day. How long will he be in power? How long will he continue to occupy that seat?
Some
It is
people were there
fleeting.
before him.
Do you understand? Some people were there before. Where are they today? Are
And
they
they'll
still
be
there?
more after him.
And they'll be more after you. Take your health seriously. Undergo your surgery. Life will continue after you. You think say be all in all, but no be so, Baba. Life will
Yeah,
continue
you only
after
live
you and
once.
everything. Everything will go on without you. So take your health seriously, and don't be so possessive of the chair that you lose sight on the bigger risk, which is your life. That's all my advice basically to him.
Well, we do hope the minister is well, alive, well, and doing well. And if he is sick, and we do hope he's getting the proper treatment, the whole political drama is not necessary for something as important as health. Someone who is active in office, we do hope he takes that more seriously, and we do hope we have enough facilities. And when we do not, this is a wake-up call. If you do not want to be silent about your health issue, if we had the facilities here, as we should, and we have the doctors and all that, we're now having our brain drain in the country, he would have had the doctors and facilities to treat him here, and it wouldn't have been a secretive issue having to treat yourself. We would all know that, okay, the minister is not feeling well, and he is within the country, and he can still be active properly.
No, but what happened to the state of FCT? He leaves the
That's
seats
but
dormant.
I think that's where
Really?
the Minister of State comes in. That's where she can or he can help him before he gets back.
I could say, may
Well,
nobody touch my seat.
if-
oh."
Waiting to carry over students.
Well, we do hope the FCT minister gets better. Moving on, still on the plane of the minister, he was also absent at the ceremony. The Rivers State government is going to be handed back to democracy after the suspension of the Governor Soludo from office and placing Vice Admiral Ibas into power as the sole administrator of the state. The whole drama involving Wike, the president, and the governor. We are going to be getting Governor Soludo back very soon. I believe this month or next, very soon though. And there's a transitional ceremony that was held, and Wike was also still not present there. We do hope this is still not relating to the issue. We do assume and hope it is still their partial beef and whatnot that is still going on, that is making both, because the governor was also not present for the ceremony of the sole administrator, because it was like an honor for the sole administrator that replaced the governor during the suspensive period. But we do hope the FCT minister is okay. We do hope for a good, smooth transition to democracy for the Rivers State people. They have gone through a lot, with the whole drama affecting the leaders, still affecting the, you already say 2 elephants fight, the grass suffers. So that was like the situation in Rivers State. We do hope we see positive changes with the transition. And then moving on, Toby Amusan calls out AFN over Nigerian sports kits. We're going to be having an athletes competition coming soon. And Toby Amusan, a gold medal, and I believe she even broke Guinness World Record during her time I think it was in the 2022 Athletes Championship, and she broke a lot of track records. Came out to show on her Snapchat that the kits that the Nigerian Sports Commission is giving them was so substandard in comparison to what athletes from other nations were getting. She showed there was a video of the US sport athlete, what they were getting. There was a box. Inside of the box, there was a duffel bag. Inside the duffel bag, there was so much kits. Going to set.
Just nylon, then give out.
So, what do you think about that, Barry? Because
Like I said, I feel like Nigeria is really playing a dangerous game with our sports sector. It's not really paying attention really, because how do you succumb to such national embarrassment? They came out and said, no, it's just the first one they are bringing, the other ones are coming. I think it's just control, really. It's just damage control at the end of the day, because they are just trying to control the narrative. Because according to a report in 2023, I read, basically, I hope it's not true, that they gave them 20,000 naira to get kits, like for our athletes, all games this
20,000 naira.
20,000 naira to get kits.
Is it for beans or dodo?
Which of the do? There's
Do
no
you
do that are going to
understand?
afford the flour.
Do you understand? It is the level of laxitude that they take our sports sector, and then they take it to international disgrace. Do you understand? The other time we're disqualified because they did not bring the amount of athletes. They replace them with
Oh,
officials so that they can
Nigeria,
still get the same
all the other
budget. See
countries,
the
they give their
corruption. See the way
athletes
corruption has even
suitcases.
eaten into that sector,
See what in
and not
Nigeria
even allowing that
packages
sector to
put
grow.
for
Nigeria, what is
athletes.
going on?
Every year,
Is
na
it
so we dey
until
collect am.
is it
Inside
until
one
shey
small
where
like no
okay?
bag.
Store.
You see?
And KB, in reference also, recently Mikel Obi came out to say that the NFF, the entire NFF, the NFF should be sacked if Nigeria does not qualify for the World Cup, because he has also seen the level of corruption and the level of incompetence that is going on within the sports committee in Nigeria. Do you think this is just still a hint? This is a details of what is actually going on?
You see, I don't know. But what are we getting right in this country? There's nothing. Nothing. Probably, okay, let's use this sports side and guide. You see, what are we getting right? It's a very disgusting behavior for you to embarrass yourself nationally and to go internationally and embarrass yourself again. It's not acceptable. It's very
at all.
disgusting. And I think there's a budget for this. Why? Even if you are going to cheat anybody, is it your own people? We saw, I think it was a few months ago when I think I saw a competition. Is it in Russia or where a lady, a cycling competition, a Nigerian participant does not have a bicycle, and she went there for this competition, but they could not provide her.
You had to go and borrow
They had
from.
to-
Do you
for God's sake.
understand?
Is this the kind of thing? These are the people we call giant. Are you sure we're the giant of Africa?
Some other reports say that some they actually have to buy it with their own money.
For God's sake. Did you see?
Crazy.
I saw the video and I was actually very pissed. It was inside as if you are buying akara, take inside transparent. Is it high or something? For God's sake. These are people that are going to represent you in the international level.
Giants of Africa.
A whole giant though.
It's very unacceptable.
I'm
I think
speechless.
Is it that the sports minister is incompetent? Change him. We've seen it, and the problem is, had even this thing is only in one place, we would have completed. This is the same football, volleyball. It is the same
Across
thing.
board.
So you see, it
Shameful.
cannot be the people. It's definitely the system. The government needs to do better. If the minister is incompetent, then if they are not giving him budget, the minister, if they are not giving you budget, then you should speak up. But we can't continue embarrassing ourselves like this.
In reacting to that post, the Athletic Federation of Nigerian president came out to disprove what
It's a damage control. It's just a damage control.
He did mention that she was just picking out one pack out of the rest, but then one of the details that caught my attention was that he said the whole kit was sponsored by Hi-Racer and it was free, and as Hi-Racer is sponsoring about 20 other countries, giving them free kits for the upcoming athletes competition. So the kit was free, and he did mention that Hi-Racer said they were going to send theirs in bits, and I'm wondering if Hi-Racer is sponsoring this for free, why are they coming out to refuse the claims? Why are they the ones doing the damage control? Why are they saying there is more coming when they are not the ones saying it? Why is it not Hi-Racer that is coming out to say, okay, we were the ones that sent this, in bits, and the rest is coming, and this is the way we do send our things? Why is it the Athletic Federation of Nigeria president that is coming out?
Sorry to cut you. Let me give you a good example. You're hungry, and I have a plate of rice that I'm willing to give you. Do you think it's logical for me to be giving you 1 spoon each 2 minutes? Is it
Like a
logical?
baby.
Is it logical? Come on. So I think these claims, Harrison, if now our eyes are on you, since
Sure.
now we're pushing the blame to you, they've already pushed the blame to you. So now
Nigerians
it's
and
for you to
blame
come
game.
out and okay, if you guys were paid to be then, but if you guys are doing it for free, but even if they are doing it for free, I think there should be a supervision for this.
And not just
country.
not just
There should
about
be a
the
supervision
amount
for
of
this.
kids. We're talking about even the quality of these kids that are given.
Come
It's
on.
substandard.
There should be a
And
supervision.
then we're talking about morale boosters, which if not that Nigerians are talented, this kind of things lowers your morale. You go outside, you see your fellow athletes dressed and kitted so well, and then you look at yourself, you're like, if not that Africans have pride, if not that
You'll
Nigerians
be
have
questioning
pride,
yourself, are we playing the same competition?
do you understand? And then they go out and win in spite of our leadership, in spite of the management, in spite of the bad, organization. They still go out and win. And then they still don't. I think it's the fact that Nigerians are just good. That they're not seeing that they need to
But
check all
it's
this.
so much good that is leading us to this kind of issue. Sometimes you need to speak up honestly on
And
this
I
kind
like the
of
fact that she
problem.
spoke up.
Yeah, and this is part of this why we're seeing a lot of drain in almost every sector of the country. We're seeing drain. We've seen the brain drain in the health, having doctors leaving, nurses leaving, education, professors and lecturers leaving, and then we're
Professor went
seeing.
to do masters, come back again.
Can you
So
imagine?
industry
Went to do
greener
PhD,
pastures.
come
You saw
back
greener
again.
pastures.
These are the
and-
issues, and then we're seeing this. We are seeing very similar now in this sport because we also saw an athlete that moved to Turkey saying she was not going to represent Nigeria anymore because there are better packages there. But we do hope the Athletics Federation of Nigeria will do better. The whole sports commission, sport minister will do better to address these kind of issues, and we should really, really invest properly and better into our sports here in the country because we are representing the country in several ways. And moving on to Lagos State. Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, unblocks a critique lawyer on X. This is coming after the lawyer sued the governor and took him to court saying he denied him he was violating his right to public information, that the governor blocked him on X, formerly known as Twitter. He criticized him in 2021, I believe. So the lawyer is taking him to court saying he was not seeing information that the governor, because the governor is very social. He shares a lot of information on his X page. This is a governor that we all know to go to the streets whenever he executes a project and stuff. Sometimes he goes himself to supervise certain projects, and we've even seen a video of him going into the train line that they did in Lagos State, interacting with the citizens here, and it was very interactive for them. So after this after this law suit by the lawyer taking the governor to court, the governor invited him personally
every year
to
na so we
address
dey
the
issue.
claim, the issue, and he unblocked him after they met, they discussed. What do you think about, should we be seeing more of this kind of interaction between politicians and their followers?
Well, I feel the Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu is trying to be the people's person because it's his personal account. I really don't know. Certain public officials do not have their own personal accounts. If you want any information, there's the state account. The states also have their accounts. There's the broadcast media, basically to let out such details. So him saying that it was an infringement on his human rights, it's a bit of a stretch. Basically. It's a bit of a stretch. But I like the fact that he has shown himself to be a people's person, whether it is a form of campaign ploy or whatnot for the party, because 2027 is fast coming and everybody is doing whatever they can to gain the people's
Trust.
gain people's votes and whatever and everything. So I don't know whether it's that, but whatever it is.
I hope it's better. But Mo, do you think the followers, because sometimes we've seen situations where these followers go over the board, or because there's begin a lot of talks about having social media regulations and whatnot. Do you think citizens have that right, that edge over their politicians, over their leaders on social media to not cross the line, to not block them? Because sometimes blocking is a safety measure. Someone could be a nuisance and you decide to block him to deny him access to all this kind of platform to give him a voice, do you think it is fair?
This is I would not. It's a sword with a double-edged sword.
True.
Just like when I asked you for $1,000 and you blocked me. So you see what the governor did might be out of frustration. Probably the guy has been trying to get to him. Like, you know, there are certain ways you get to somebody. Maybe he has been hitting the stone and the governor got frustrated and blocked him. But what I would commend, like the question what you asked, I would add to what Barry said. What I would commend is, yes, him, even though it had to reach the extent of being sued before he had to have a man-to-man conversation with him, but I think I still commend that. Which I think if other governors, rather than arresting journalists, if they come and I think it's better you call them and okay, this is the problem, let's see how we are going to solve it, rather than you arresting them. So I think Babajide Solo did a very good job there, coming to connect with this guy, and maybe he had to tell him, okay, this is the reason I blocked you. Then you see probably the guy might take it. He might, if he wants to talk to him another time, then he might take an easier route rather than attacking him. But kudos to Babajide.
That's really good progress. That's really good progress. Moving on, indicted Air Peace co-pilot and cabin crew reject the drug tests results that they were giving you. If you remember, I think last week or Friday, an Air Peace flight was cabin crew were subjected to a drug test because there was a little bit of a mishap on the runway when they were landing. And it was a lot of outcry. You know, we've had stories when we had the Quam 1, we had the Quam 2, and I think, was it possible Quam 3, Barry? That was a story from you, but Quam 3, it was very funny.
Hilarious.
Hilarious, and sad at the same time, the way passengers abuse their rights and they abuse their freedom, they misbehaved during flights, before flights, and all that. But then now the story has changed. The script has flipped. It is no longer the passengers. Now it is the pilots, the co-pilot, and the cabin crew that were subjected to drug tests because, according to the story, there was a protocol that was not followed, a usual protocol that was not followed.
Protocol.
Yes. But then now the controversy comes from the cabin crew. I think one of the co-pilots and the cabin crew, the co-pilot David Bernard and the cabin crew member Maduneme Victory, refused the results that were given to them because they said they do not take drugs, they do not take alcohol, and even when the test was taken, it was not in their system. So why is the result showing that they are positive for drugs? Could this be a ruse? Maybe the problem is coming from, because the Nigerian Institute for Bureau Investigation was the one that, the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau conducted this test. And naturally, according to what the co-pilot said, he said this test usually has its result a few hours after the test. You know, they take your blood sample, they make the test, and then you get your results. And if the blood test is going to take long, they use a breathalyzer. It's instant. If there's alcohol in your system, the breathalyzer will instantly show it. But he said when their blood was taken for this test, it took about 10 days. 10 whole days.
Are they traveling to another state?
Exactly. It took 10 whole days from Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau. And he said the hospital that carried out this test was not even any airport related. It was not Air Force based that made this test for them. They just took their blood samples, and the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau made this test and then came out with it. So when the results came to him, he was really shocked.
It's another case of police puts this thing, cocaine from my pocket.
plant evidence.
Police plant evidence from my pocket, and it's saddening because even the Air Peace has come out to protect their own and came out and said that, you know what, we do not believe in this. We believe in the credibility of our staff, because beyond that because there's this 8-hour rule. Beyond that 8-hour, they take their own security measures further than that.
True.
They take their own security measures further than that, so they will not accept that. And then, you know, they cry it foul play. And then from that, when does it take 10 days?
10 days is a lot of days.
10 days for
There's
something that's supposed to
I
last
think
hours
they have
at
to
best.
travel from Lagos to Borno to go and do the test and come back. That's a lot of days, actually.
True.
10
Like,
days.
so within that space of time, a lot of foul play could have happened, and
lot.
everything. It feels more like a slaw. Is there an attack on Air Peace? is there an attack on airpeace? So no, and recently, apart from that, there's this whole limelight of um what do you call it, aircrafts, being in the media. Before, first we heard from the Kwam one, we see airpeace, and we see Ibom Air, we see Enugu Air, now we're seeing. So what is really going on? What is really going on with what do you call it, our air agencies, really?
It's really confusing because he said when his test was given to him, he rejected it and he's subjected to a new test. They should take a sample, and then they told him that he doesn't really have to take the test now because alcohol stays about 90 days in your system before it leaves. Was it alcohol or weed? I think he said takes about 90 days before it leaves your system. So if he had refused to take the test then, the second test, he had left and come back and taken the test, the assumption would be the alcohol has left his system, the smoke has left his system, so there is no need, there's no validity to the test that he carried out. But he said he took that test instantly when they left the flight, and the second test he also still took it as soon as he could within that time frame, about 40 days, I think about 20 days that it happened. He took the second test and it came out negative. So like you said, could there possibly be an attack on airpeace? What is the whole drama? Are they trying to hide something? Personally, I believe there are certain jobs you cannot be faulty at, you cannot be wrong at. A doctor cannot be substandard in his job. A pilot that carries lives on air, you know what it means, to take people on air. A pilot, police, these are jobs that you cannot actually be wrong about. You have to be 100% accurate.
Just even a construction worker, an engineer, because
exactly, certain jobs that there's no room for errors, particularly
because every error costs people's lives.
And finally, what the co-pilot mentioned was that the airpeace and I think other air companies carry out random drug tests just in case. They carry out random drug tests on their cabin crew and their pilots to ensure that these people are not taking drugs. Because if you know that you're going to be having a random test and you're flying probably in a day or 2 days, 3 days, you personally, you would avoid, because they paid money to actually earn these certificates to be part of a flight crew and all. So why would they jeopardize that with drugs or alcohol for a flight? So it's really not making sense. And we do hope the National Safety Bureau investigation would do better and come out with the truth, and we get the truth.
To add to the issue of this, I think we barely see aviation sector in the news, but these days how it's just like Barry said, how it keeps surfacing from Kwam 1 to Kwam 2. It's something I think what is happening, just like Anambra, is something happening in the aviation sector. And lastly, you see the image of these people. If this test result is negative, then I think they should have a proper compensation, and they should come out, they should apologize to them, to the general public, because this is something that's not certain, and you've already broadcasted it.
And it affects their businesses.
At their image. What if now they are wrong? People will still be seeing. There are people that do not have access to the news all the time, but once in a while now they have access to this, they will be seeing them with that picture. So if this is wrong, then I think the investigation body should do well research before coming out to broadcast something like this. But if they are right, then I think these people should be punished. But if they are wrong, they should be heavily compensated, and they're very heavy, and the public apology should be done.
True. And moving on to Lapo Pampe. Loan apps have crossed a very big line recently because a certain individual named Chinedu Azuike was I don't know how to break this story, because what this loan app did, the name of the loan app is, the name of the microfinance bank is Micro Loan Company. What they did was that he defaulted his loan payments with about 5 days, and they came out with an obituary for him. He's dead, but he's not dead. Now, that's not where they crossed the line. Where they crossed the line was that they also attached a text on that image saying he died while raping his mother.
That's ridiculous. That's uncalled for.
When do these loan apps cross the line? When are they? Because I believe the CBN has also given them strict regulations saying they cannot harass loan defaulters, because when you apply for these loans, there are details. You give out your information, your name, your date of birth, your BVN. They could freeze your account. They report you actually to the credit bureau agency, I believe. They report you there once you have defaulted your loan. Your credit status is ruined. Wherever you're going to take a loan, it is going to reflect there. So why are they still crossing the line with these kind of threats? And this is not just for people who actually take loans. These loan apps are very ruthless. They go as far as harassing people online with texts. They harass you with emails. They harass you on social media, because even if you do not take a loan, they find a way to have access to your information, and they push out these loans to you, even when you're not tempted to, when you're not interested in. But there's a certain way they garnish the story, they garnish their adverts, you understand? They present it so well, and then you might, let me just borrow.
Have you taken any loan before, Mr. Mohammed?
I am just saying this information is public. This information is public. You know that I've taken a loan. This information is public. So the details is that you give a lot of information, and this is about yourself, and then you take this loan, and then once you before you pay the loan, they harass you with a lot of information and messages. When you take the loan, when you default, they start with threats. Who does that?
I mean, they said, according to the story of what I heard, I heard that he was just 5 days. 5 days.
Office repayment.
How much
And
is
then
the
they
loan?
sent this kind of remark to him, and that this kind of people, there was a tweet I saw really of somebody, a loan ad sending him a message to pay back, and then you're like, they never born a papa when I started taking.
Now,
Now that kind of person,
old taker.
now that kind of person fits these people, because these people will actually be doing too much. Sometimes we see the trend of Pampe, being escorting people to even the mosque, to even
Waiting
get
for
them,
them.
waiting for them at mosque, or in prayer house, in churches, or at junction points, basically tracing
hide and
them,
seek.
doing hide and seek with these people. And then it's questionable. What are the procedures you guys take to giving these people? Have you checked their credit score to see that these people are worthy to give loans, or you just give loans to any random person? Because there was one time like that, I don't know who took loan that is in my contact. They started disturbing me. This your friend, tell him to pay notes, and they were calling me constantly. I'm like, now me take loan. Why they disturb me now? Was I there when you gave the person the loan? What deal did I make with
It's like
you
a
guys?
deal with the
Was
devil,
I part?
signing your
Was
stuff.
I part of this deal? When you guys they give your money, una no come you. Now una they find the
Did
money.
they give you middleman affairs percentage?
Do you understand?
No. You see, just
It's really, really funny. It's really, really funny. They should clamp down on these things. This is excessive. They've crossed the line. They really crossed the line. Putting out an obituary on the person, and not just that, claiming that
extent of-
he raped his mother. That's borderline
That's a no-go
disturbing.
area.
It's
That's-
disturbing.
it's just to add to what Barry said. As we old people used to say, he who takes water should bear the consequence of peeing. You know you are giving these people money, then you should know you have a way of getting it. Not this is a violation of privacy.
True.
And this certain customer can sue you for this, for 10 times the money you gave him. So you see, it will be like it's a profit. Because you cannot just randomly pick somebody's picture and decide to lay such huge false narrative. Not only he's dead, but to the extent of him having this bad, for God's sake. The government needs to regulate this. Okay, if you are giving somebody a loan, you should know the way you are already planning on getting it back.
True.
But I don't think we want to see
They have
this
checked
ever
it.
again of pushing false narratives like this.
This is really embarrassing. This is really, really embarrassing from the loan company. And they should have done better, should do better, and offer a public apology to that individual, because that is not a small allegation. Moving on, do the dead ever rest? Do the dead ever find peace? Do dead men tell tales? Well, they do not. And Mohbad's dad, on behalf of his son, came to tell a little tale celebrating 2 years anniversary of his son's death. Well, I wouldn't call it celebration, but just marking an anniversary of 2 years since his son died
It's been
or
2 years
was
already.
killed. Yeah, exactly. 2
Time
years.
really flies
September
fast.
2023
Time is really moving
was
fast.
when Mohbad left us at the age of 27, and his dad sang a song. He's probably known as Baba Mohbad now. He sang a song commemorating his son's death and saying that his son has still not gotten justice, has still not been buried. A lot of drama. Well, we do hope Mohbad rests in peace. We hope he's doing better. And also, his son turns 2 I believe. Mohbad's son turns to also, so that's another form of, celebration, a good thing. We'll say, hopefully we'll be able to see a recantation of his legacy, of his Mohbad's legacy in his son. His son is just 2, he still has a long way to go and all. And the whole family drama. Well, that was just the information over the
I
weekend.
mean, it's been 2 years.
It's been
2
2 years.
years, and this guy hasn't gotten justice. We still do not know who killed him. We still do not know whether
What
he
killed him?
died of natural
causes.
causes
Causes.
and everything. It's sad because we just talked about this thing last week. Last week we talked
The
about
judicial system.
how swift they are,
credibility of the
how
judicial
swift the
system.
FBI are in getting information, getting justice. Just to the one that's annoying me is it is just autopsy that you guys were supposed to
I think
perform.
this should be where the DSS should have focused rather than going to beat a commission. Oh.
Understand? Just autopsy. We still don't know wetin kill am. We still don't know who. And then all we're getting is being derailed. Now social media influencers they try give us justice. Wetin do police? Wetin do
Maybe they've joined social media to probably.
DSS that is supposed to be an intelligence? What happened to them?
No, then
You will not see them there. But
They're
when
in
it's time
Anambra.
to threaten citizens, when it's time to beat a honorable, that's where you see them. Now there you go see them. It's really appalling. It's how they have reduced themselves, and it's a public shame. Anyway, we're still asking justice for Mohbad, and then we're asking Mohbad's father, how far now? You do not have name.
Baba Mohbad, as it goes by now.
Maybe he has borrowed the name.
Are you trying to ride on the wings of your son's fame? Because from what we heard, he wasn't present like during his lifetime. This time that he was bullied, he even posted online that he was bullied, this was happening and everything. Not once did we hear from Mohbad's father.
All of a sudden now you're available.
Suddenly the son dies. Suddenly you're dragging his wife who has been with him through all. Suddenly now you're claiming you're his father. You're the one that you only contributed sperm. Sorry, I'm sorry. But that's all you did. But that's all you did. And now you're trying to ride on your son's fame. I find it disgusting. I don't know. What do you have to say?
It's sad for Mohbad's dad to
Well,
ride on
to commemorate the death of Mohbad, rest in peace, Mohbad. We really hope you're in a better place and you have found peace finally, leaving those who do not want peace to continue wallowing in the violence that they have created for themselves. To round it up for today on the morning break, I know it might be morning, but then at the same time, we are going to be having juicy jollof.
Where's my plate?
Jollof.
I thought,
Pass the
did
jollof on the jet.
did you take my plate? I brought a plate because
I came with my
I'll be going to
spoon.
Lagos after the show.
Oh, really?
I'll be
They
on my
can't
The
plate.
judge
preserve for
she
you.
don't share
No,
finish.
no, she won't dare do that.
She don't share
won't dare
finish.
do that.
Okay.
She won't dare do
In
that.
a fit to try and break a new record, she's even creating a record because at this point, no one has ever done it before. Hilda Bassi broke, I don't think the Guinness record has responded yet, but I believe she has broken a record cooking the largest pot of jollof, beating all the comparison of the bait, Ghana jollof, whatever jollof that we have in Africa, Nigerian jollof beats that.
20 bags.
250 bags of rice went down over the weekend
Yet you say
to
I should
break
not
this
have my
record.
share. No, my own share. I'm definitely sure she kept mine.
A very impressive feat from Hilda Bassi. Congratulations, Hilda Bassi, for a successful this is not a cookathon, for a successful party jollof, because this was a party. A lot of celebrities were present, the likes of Vicky James and so much more were present during this world-breaking feat from Hilda Bassi. It was impressive. Fans came up, celebrities came up, everyone had a taste of this amazing jollof. Well, we were far away from the scene, but we do hope ours is going to be coming in its package.
I mean, certain people have had a lot of things to say. People like Gigi. It was laughable. He came out and said, while other people are doing other things, breaking records for other things, winning Nobel prizes, and she's busy cooking jollof, and it speaks to the poverty in Nigeria. And I was like, really? And as I was asking that question, Opeyemi came to answer that question to him. He came and gave him his clap back, because certain people, dignitaries, flew over to just be part of that event. You see the governor's wife flying over to come and be part of the event. You see celebrities, you see people who came from their jobs, from their 9 to 5 to come and be part of it. I like the supportive, so it's the supportive system of Nigerians basically. And then for you to wash it down to the part of saying that Nigerians are hungry. It speaks to your own mindset. It speaks to your own mentality, and that's why I will never be a fan of Gige University, because it's the ability to spread nuisance everywhere he goes.
We were hoping to give you a HOD in one of the departments.
Hello, Nije.
God
will not allow it.
Well, we hope Gege is going to be getting his own Nobel Prize soon, so that we can all celebrate him for something worthy and not cooking a big pot of jollof. Like he said, people are winning Nobel Prize. People are.
Wait till stop him, I beg.
Isn't he a content creator too?
Let him go and win Nobel Prize.
You see, but I think I'm happy how Nigerians came out to show their support.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful thing.
But I'm still serious about my rice. So I don't want to.
Well, I'll give you.
You know, this was what Mr. Easy did. He did not send me invitation.
I'll give you her personal contact. You can go pick yours up and your 1 million naira fee for the rice. Well, that is all we have today on the morning break. I remain Abbas Muhammad.
And I'm Barry to the world.
And I'm Mohammed without the glasses.